Hello, this is Akiko Sudano at StampinInTheMeadows.com in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a beautiful day in Pennsylvania. It's a little cool, but it's sunny, so I will take that. And can you believe that it's the end of October? Yesterday we went out and got our Halloween candy so that we'll be ready for tomorrow afternoon. And so we're excited about that. But the big thing about it being the end of October is that on Tuesday we start the Fitting Florets promotion. So I'm so excited about that. Hello, Karen. Hello, Chi. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's going to start on Tuesday, and so I decided to use those products to make today's card, and I'm going to make a Christmas card. This is the card that I'm going to make. I'm going to just tell you a few things about the Fitting Florets promotion. First of all, you've got the it's going to start on Tuesday, and we're going to have the Framed Florets stamp set and the Framed Florets dies. And these are going to be early releases of products that are going to be in the upcoming mini catalog that starts in January. So, and these are both really, really beautiful. So it's going to be great. Thanks, Amy. Thank you so much for watching. And then there's also going to be these beautiful gold swirls, and they're gorgeous. The beautiful designer series paper, which has got some themes for Christmas, as well as some other floral themes that would be great for after Christmas. And so this is, and then a lot of the blues, which are great for January cards as well. But then also the Framed and Festive cling stamp set, which I've also used in today's card with a lot of different large Christmas sentiments and stuff, which works really well with a framed thing like you've got with the ovals here, and or by themselves, if you want to just show off pretty designer series paper with a simple greeting. So these are the stamp set, the Framed and Festive stamp set, the gold swirls, and the paper are only going to be available while supplies last from Tuesday, beginning on Tuesday, until the new catalog comes out in January. But the stamp set and dies will be available in the new catalog as well. And these are so exciting. These are the dies, and this is the beautiful stamp set. And you've got a lot of different pretty sentiments. And hi, Linda. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Karen. Yes, happy Sunday. And you've got some beautiful floral images, some beautiful sentiments, and it's kind of a I guess a casual kind of font. But the other thing about it is that with the dies in the bundle, you've got some gorgeous oval shapes for framing, for creating frames and layering frames, and they're just really elegant and pretty gorgeous, and these coordinate with each other. The dies also have some beautiful greenery dies that just cut out greenery that you can layer, and then dies that cut out all of the images in the stamp, so you can stamp and then die cut after you've colored them, which is really, really good. So this is my card, and this is the Framed and Festive stamp set, and you can see how large those sentiments are. And this is so these two will be available in the new catalog when that comes out. So let me first start by, I want to first do my stamping here, because let me, before I start my stamping, let me go ahead and talk about the card, because I'm using the Fitting Florets Designer Series paper, and I'm using the gorgeous oval frames. And what I've decided to do was just kind of make this. I think that this by itself, this paper with the frames and then the flowers and greenery would be a really, really nice card. But I decided to step it up, and I kind of made it a little bit more complicated for myself, because this is a large frame, and I decided to step it up by making a double easel card. So it's kind of hard to see it like this, but it's got a regular card, top folding card base on the bottom here, and then it's got another panel that goes in front to give you a double easel, so that when you stand it up, then you have a really nice picture of the frame and the image and stuff. And what I've done is I've used the beautiful Designer Series paper to back the inside and the bottom of my fold and stuff, so that so this will be a very, very extra special Christmas card and stuff. So, but in doing that, I kind of made things a little bit hard on myself. Okay, so let me go in and talk a little bit about these dies. So with the dies, you've got basically two. The heart dies are going to be great for Valentine's Day, which is just around the corner. But you've got this die, the large oval frame, and then you've got the smaller oval frame. And these go very, very well together, as you can see here. And they both cut a frame and an inside. So you're going to have a smaller inside oval here and a larger inside oval here. So what you're going to want to try to do is what I wanted to do is I wanted to layer the smaller frame, which I cut in real red, on top of the gold foil frame that I cut in the larger frame, which I cut in gold foil. But in doing so, I wanted to, since the insides are going to be cut out, it kind of makes it, okay, how am I going to attach these so that I have something that is going to that's going to basically stay. So I was playing with it with three different just in basic white cardstock, so I could show you basically what I'm doing. So for this one, let me first show you with my card. So I started out by figuring that, okay, I could take the large oval and then just trace it out with a pencil and then fussy cut it with my scissors, and get a backing so that everything would stay together nicely. And so that's what I did with my sample card. But then when I turn it over, and I don't know if you can see it, you need to cut it, well, right here you can see pretty good. You need to cut it really a little bit inside the outside marking, and so it kind of gets a little bit messy. So this is nice and stuff, but I think that could be better. So for today's card, I'm going to try use a different technique, and I played with this for a while. For a regular card, you don't have to worry about this, but this oval frame is large enough that for a fun fold card like the easel card, it lends itself very nicely for putting some kind of a design in there that's with a nice frame for like this double easel card or a Z-fold card, where like you've got like a card that where you just fold over one part and then you've got the other thing right here. So there's a lot of different fun folds I think that this frame would be nice for, but you need to have something so that it looks attractive in the back instead of just being fussy cut. And so the fussy cutting was the first thing that I tried, and that didn't work out well. So my as I looked at this, what I wanted to do was I wanted to get adhesive all around the small frame so that it would attach to both the outside frame of the large frame and the inside oval. And the first thing that I tried was glue dots, and that didn't work very well because since it's an oval, you don't have corners to line up, so it makes it really kind of hard to line it up. So it's almost like you really, really need something. You can see this one where it's not attached. It didn't line up very well, and so that's with glue dots. So you need something that's going to allow you to move it around a little bit. So I tried doing with liquid glue, and I was able to mush it around a little bit. But you see, I still have places where the other oval is not the glue isn't attached there, so it's not going to stick there. So that's not the best solution either. So what I came up with was a thing where I would put the small oval on the front like this with liquid glue, and then be able to, it gives you time so that you can fudge it around and make sure that it's as centered as you can be. And then on the back, I cut another one, and here I use just basic white, and I'm going to use basic white on my card, and then I attach this one with liquid glue as well. And I think that's going to be so much more attractive than the fussy cutting on the back. So you've got like a little frame. And here for this one also, I'm going to go ahead and attach the oval inside center with liquid glue. So that's what I'm going to do. And that was a kind of long-winded. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started with making my card and not just talk about it. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start, I've cut much of everything already. So I'm going to go ahead and start by doing my stamping. So I have the center oval for the large oval, and this is the center part, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the center in real red, and I'm going to do this first, and then I'll stamp my insides, and I'll show you my insides just as soon as I do this. And this oval itself has some nice, really pretty, nice, I guess, self-embossing on the edges there. Okay, that looks good. I just re-inked my real red pad here. So the ovals are a little hard to line up because you don't have any strong corners, but I want to stamp my sentiment kind of in the upper right-hand corner here. And going to try to get it straight. But so you line it up as straight as you can with your grid paper and stuff, and then we're going to see how well that works. But I'm going to put this aside, and we'll put that together in a couple of seconds here. Put the real red away, and I'm going to pull out the evening evergreen, and the rest of the stamping on the inside of the card. I have the flower stamped again, and I've got it colored. And this is why I want to go ahead and stamp, because I'm coloring this with stamping blend. So I want to make sure I give it time to dry. And I stamped the two leaves up here, and I stamped the sentiment from the Framed and Festive in the center here. And I did all of that stamping in evening evergreen. And so I'm going to put this stamp away, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the flower in the corner here. I want this to be, since I'm going to be putting a piece of Designer Series paper on the bottom here as well. I'm going to check and see how this goes. A little bit more, I think, make it just a little juicier. This is such a beautiful stamp. I want to put a piece of Designer Series paper on the bottom. So I want to position this so that I'm going to stamp it off because I want it kind of on a diagonal here, but I want to make sure I've got room for my Designer Series paper on the bottom. So I'm going to just, I think that is about right. So we'll let that go. And this is the same flower that I have on the front. And it's got just such fine lines. It's just beautiful. So that one I put on paper because that was stamped off the, and the rest of these I can just stamp on. Here I'm going to put this set of leaves in the corner. There. Put these aside. And then this is the sentiment from the Framed and Festive stamp set. This is the other sentiment. And this is the Framed and Festive is a cling stamp set. And it's got fairly bold and fairly thick lines. And it looks like my Evening Evergreen stamp set could be re-inked. Stamp pad could be re-inked as well. So this one is going to be a bit of a challenge to try to get straight. But I think that this is a type of sentiment that is going to be pretty forgiving. First, because it's so large, and it's got, you know, it's got lots of different movements. So I think it's fairly forgiving from a getting it straight perspective. So I think I'm going to put this aside and let this dry, and then before we use it, we'll color it with Stampin' blends. All right, so I've got that stuff set, and that's getting ready to dry. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to work on the frame. All right, so this is the inside of the large frame that we had stamped, and I'm going to go ahead and put and I cut this frame out of the brushed metallic gold foil, and I think this was the middle shade of gold. So I'm going to use, like I had described before, I'm going to use liquid glue, and it's kind of a challenge because you want to get both sides, but you don't want too much liquid glue because you've also got all these little slits where your glue could come slushing out, which is going to be, you know, make a mess. And ask me how I know we did that. But you want to get enough, you want to get it on both the foil, and you want to get it on the basic white paper where your sentiment is. And it's you want to have some time lining it up, and the liquid glue is going to let you move it around a little bit as you need to, so that it's so that you get it to the point where it looks good to you. I think all of this, you have to get it to the point where it looks good to you, because I think these don't quite line up. I spent a lot of time looking at that, and I just want to get it kind of close to the edge of the pretty cutouts on the big frame, and just kind of centered. But because you don't have corners, it's really kind of hard. So I'll turn it over and press it down good again, and then I've got another set of frames of the small frame that I cut out with from Basic White, and I'll do the same thing again to the back. And I'll put liquid glue all around it like this, and then put this, try to put this on about the same place. And you can see here how this side I've kind of covered up the the little holes on the frame. So that gives me a chance to move it around, and I think that looks good. So I'll give it a good press. And then I'm going to just go ahead, and since I've got this, I'm going to go ahead and take this and add a little extra liquid glue and stick that on the inside there. So, and I think that this is going to give you a fairly solid frame that if it's sticking out on a on a fun fold card like this one is, it's going to both be attractive on the back, and it's going to be strong enough to stand on its own. So I'm going to put this aside, and now we'll go ahead and assemble the card. So I'm going to put this aside, my stamp panel. So let's pull this together. I've got a soft succulent 4 1/4 by 11 top folding card base, and that's the basic card base. And then I've got a 4-inch by 10 1/4 inch panel of real red, and I've scored it at 2 1/2 and a 5. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this and burnish it. I'm going to go ahead and fold it and burnish it first, and then this will be your easel. And then I will put this, then I can go ahead and put it on here first. So I'm going to attach this to my card base, and it ends up being like a 4 1/4 by 5 inch panel when you close it up. And I'm going to just go ahead and adhere this with liquid glue. And then we can put the designer series paper panels on this. And the nice thing about this, make sure I'm not upside down. Okay, good. The nice thing about this double easel design is that you can really go wild in terms of designing the back panel. You can add something else right here, and the inside panel, you can add something here, because when this opens up, this will open up all the way on the inside panel here. So I've just kept it simple by using just this pretty designer series paper. And I've cut a and I'll have all of the measurements on my blog tomorrow. And oops, this is good. So the designer series paper are cut, pieces are cut 1/4 of an inch, not 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch smaller than the panels that they'll be attached to. So I've got this right here. Switch this over a little bit more. Okay. And then I wanted something that was a little bit lighter, so I chose this pattern in the paper. It's got that pretty night and navy and balmy blue floral pattern in the back. This is really pretty. The paper is just gorgeous. Totally love it. And I decided to put it this way. I think that it can go either way. But I think that it's nice to have the lighter shade of green on the middle section here. Then it makes it not quite so dark. And then another piece of this same designer series paper on the bottom section here. So, like I said, this is simple, but you can make it so much more elaborate. That's I think with this card design is just really fun, and it makes it it's really special for the person that receives this card. It really is something that's real special for them. All right, so I've got my designer series paper covering my easel panels. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my oval, and I'm going to just use liquid glue to attach that as well. And I'm going to just put the liquid glue on the lower part here. And so I've got, just want to make sure that you've got the right, this side is the bottom, and I'm going to just, where this cut out and this cut out, put the liquid glue down on this section. And come all around here. There we go. And then I just want to make sure that it's centered on my, kind of centered on my card. And again, with the oval shapes, you don't really have any corners, so it's really hard, and it's a little hard, and it's hard to get that centered. But the other thing also is that these ovals and the way these things fit together, it's very, very forgiving. It doesn't look bad if it's slightly off. So then I also die cut two of these pretty leaves and this wonderful, wonderful spray. And I'm going to adhere those to the frame with glue dots. And I'm just using two of the leaves, and I've cut I guess the right side leaves, two of the same. And I think you could do either one, but I'm going to do the large die cut first, and I'm going to use glue dots, and I'm going to just kind of mush them together so that they fit in on the little guy here. Use two for these long ones. And I just want to put them so that they don't interfere too much with seeing my sentiment. A little bit is fine and to be expected, but that's good. And then I'm going to have, I've already colored this, and I've already die cut it, but I'm going to be, I'll put that right there, but I will do the inside one, and I've colored this one exactly the same way that I'm going to do the inside flower when I do the inside. So I'm going to put a glue dot here, this leaf, and I'm going to kind of use this to see where I need to be. I think that looks okay. Put this one here, and then put this one off to the side. And there's just so many gorgeous I've seen so many gorgeous examples of cards using these die cuts and stuff, and you can layer them however you want, and make them really, really beautiful and extravagant. So then I'm going to adhere the flowers with glued with dimensionals. And let me see here. I want to put my dimensionals so that they're kind of not on top of the frame. So I want to put this one back here on the top of the flower here. And then put another half dimensional up with this leaf spray. That leaves me some time to fiddle with it a little bit, and then I'll stick one right under here so that I can get that. And I'll pull these off. And of course you can like add ribbons and stuff. It's just so beautiful. It's just totally, totally beautiful. Let's see, so I'm going to leave it right like this. There we go. So the placement's a little bit different from this card, but it's just beautiful still. So this is pretty much it. Then for the front, then I'm going to do my embellishments. And since these berries, I've left them white. I've seen other cards where they color them red, and that's beautiful as well. But since I've left these berries white, I decided I'm going to go ahead and add some white berries with these, the classic matte, the tiny white dots, and I'm going to add those to this spray so that I get a little bit of something here. I also, afterwards, I thought about, well, I could have also used the oh, I don't remember what they're called, but that the liquid dot things that they came out with. I think they came out with the pearlized ones with the white one. So that would be pretty as well. But where did it go? Oh well. There we go. So that this little spray picks up the same white berries in the that I have in the designer series paper here. That's good. And of course, I had to use these gorgeous, these beautiful, beautiful gold swirls to accent my sentiment. So see, these are just so pretty, so shiny, and then the little swirls are just gorgeous. So I'm going to put, how am I going to put them? So this sentiment came out a little bit different than the last one. So I'm going to focus on the sentiment for these swirls. Put one right here. Put one, where did it go here? We go over here. And then I think the top one should put it here or up here. I think maybe up here. There we go. There we go. So that's the card front, and that's going to stand up pretty nicely like that. And that's so much more attractive with the in the back with the die cut oval frame. All right, so let's do the inside of the card. And what I've done here is colored it with Stampin' blends. And what I did was colored the centers of these flowers with So Saffron. Yeah, the dark So Saffron. That's been sitting for a while, so I'm not getting too much smearing on this the dark evening evergreen ink. That was the objective. And I'm going to use the light soft succulent for my leaves, and I'm not really going to do any blending because I think with the so I don't think it needs it with the evening evergreen. It goes so well with the soft succulent. It just need to fill in the color. So that's what I'm doing here. And this is such a pretty leaf. This set of 2 leaves here. It's perfect for just a little touch inside a corner. And then I'm also going to use soft succulent on the leaves in this floral bouquet. And these are really small images, so I'm being real careful here. That's why it's taking me a bit of time, so I apologize for that. One of the things that I noticed about this bouquet is that there's spaces, there's white space between each of the flowers and the leaf elements, which is really interesting. But I think it also makes it so that if you were going to fussy cut these, you could easily fussy cut them because you've got space between each of these elements. It would be a lot of work, but and then also I think it would make layering die cut pieces look better because everything is kind of separated by white space. So I think that piece is that flower? No, that's leaf, but that's not, I don't need to worry about coloring that. So I'm just almost done with the leaves here. One more. One more. Well, I think I'm done there. I made it without going over. And then I colored the flowers with Real Red Stampin' blends, and I did some shading here because I felt like the real red, the touches of real red in the cardstock and in the sentiment need to have the dark real red as well as the light real red. So I did the shading, and basically I colored the entire flower first in the light real red. And then focused on the center and the lines in the flowers for the accent lines to add touches of the dark real red. And I like the yellow with the red, the yellow centers here with the red. I think they it's just a nice set for Christmas, for Christmas florals. And the nice thing about this is that you've got this the Framed Florets stamp set is you've got the lots of different options for floral arrangements here. You've got this one, and then you've got two individual flowers, and then you've got the more longish set of bouquet flowers, and then all the different leaves. So here I'm just doing the center a little bit darker, and then focusing on the edge where they have the accent lines. And then the under petals. And then go over it again with the light real red to kind of soften the, oops, I didn't do that one. Soften the transitions between the colors. And then you've got to go back and get this guy, the edges of his petals here. There, so that flower is done. So one more flower to color. I just got new red markers, so they're very, very juicy. Thanks for being patient with me as I go through this. The flowers are really pretty. They're a little different. They're very pretty. I love that you've got the in the designer series paper the lighter pastel colors as well, and you can see the flowers in those colorways. They're just really pretty too. So, and I'm a flower person, so I like the flowers. This a little bit darker on this outside petal here, and then this, get the center, get the under, and I get the highlights here, there, and go over it with the, just to kind of blend. And it really makes it so that the light real red ends up being a nice highlight. So I've got a little piece of designer series paper that I'll put on the bottom here. And it's pretty without it, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. This is such pretty paper. And it's a pretty paper, pretty stamp set, pretty everything. And so it's like, so this will be a Christmas card for a very, very special someone. And trim the end. There we go. And then get my Stampin' seal and put the card on the, put the panel on the inside of the card. I think this slipped a little bit. So I'm going to push this up. Yeah. Just ever so slightly. And this is the card. This is the inside of the card. Put the panel on the inside of the card. Very, very pretty. And this bundle will be available to everybody on Tuesday. I'm so excited. And I hope that you definitely give it a thought and definitely give an easel fold card a try. It's going to look like this. So you'll see the pictures. I have everything in my blog tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much extra for bearing with me for this long tutorial. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a great week. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye. I'll see you next week. Bye.